So, good morning everyone. I've got the motor off now. A friend came around to give me a hand. As you can see, this will come out eventually because it's going to probably be in the way of the inside transom. That's the floor drain plug. This is the floor top drain plug. And that's the engine well drain plug. I'm not going to take this off if I don't have to. But anyway, I might as well because that doesn't. I'll put some sealer behind it. It's got a couple of screws there. Can't be real good. Hopefully I won't have to go through and get all this stuff out. I'll be able to tap that machine and get a true indication of the back transom solid there. Solid there on the side. This is your steering rod, and I fixed this up about 4 months ago. That's a job in itself when you have to free these up, because they do get stuck inside your power tube, and you can see it there just sort of starting again. I don't know if I will replace the power tube while the engine's off, maybe. Anyway, so these are some of your parts and components from your linkages, engine bolts and clamps. These are your linkages that go to your part of the engine, which I'll show you later. Make sure you measure the distances so that you know what to screw them up to again. To take the motor off, you need to disconnect your main CDI connection. That's for your ignition and so forth. You need to disconnect that. That goes to, I can't remember because I can't find it where it goes to. This one here will go to your starter motor, and this one here will go to your alternator, and that's pretty much it. As we lifted up the motor and moved it that way to slide this rod out. So I'm going to wrap this in Glad wrap and in plastic, and I'm going to seal it up as much as I can. The same with all the other stuff here, so no dust and crap gets in from when I start the grinding process today. So here's the motor and stand. What actually happened with this is probably where it's going to stay. When I put the motor on, or when we put the motor on, this bar here got in the way. I didn't know how far it would drop down, and we can't move the motor left or right because it's not going to make any difference when you've got those in that bar there, if you know what I mean. So that's where it's going to stay. I've got it jacked a little bit up to square it up a bit so it wasn't pulling so much on this, and I've used the original engine mount bolts. I've drilled some more holes through and I've used them just to steady it there. I'm going to tape up where the power tube actually goes. I mean where the steering column goes, because I don't want dust and stuff going in there. It's already been cleaned out. Some tape around there. And put the cowling back on. So your linkages go here. Okay, well, that does your gearbox. This one here does all your linkages for your carburation. Okay, they all come through here. The ones that go to your starter motor and so forth actually run underneath behind the carburetor here and up the other side. So here's your connection for your CDI down there, and there's other wires that connect to it as well back on there. This is your switch, micro switch I think, kill switch. Over on the other side here, you've got the red one that comes up to here, which is your alternator. That is part of that. And the other black one that comes up underneath here goes up to there. And that's it. This is part of your steering as well. That connects up to the power cable over there. So this is where it will stay. I'm probably going to sling the motor, some extra rope around it and sling it off the roof of the garage up there, just as an added safety feature, just in case this gets wet or somehow, or can't hold the weight and just collapses for some reason. That would probably be the best bet. You can see it's pretty high. I knew it will be high, but that's the only way I could fit this. I could fit it probably the next one down and had them resting off that, which probably would have been better maybe, but then the fixing point's behind here, where I've got the fixing point behind the whole trolley, so just that extra distance to really help out. These bolts here are holding on pretty good. As you can see, I've got another extra block in between these two just to help level the motor up. If I drop the motor now, all the weight goes on everything, and it may sit like that a little bit. I really wanted to alleviate some of the pressure off these here, because the last thing I need is for these to bend. Otherwise the only way to get them out is to cut them off in the future, but I don't want to do that. I think in the future I'll probably will make up a block and tackle system, because if you want to do some work around these things, and knock out your tube and stuff and put a new tube in, you can. Where it's on here, there's not much room to work with at all. This is all temporary anyway, so I'm not going to keep it like this. So once the motor's done, it's done. You can see this block here is wedging into that. You can see it's cutting in there. It's taking the load. These welds look alright. And that's pretty much it is. It's just sandwiching it all together.